Bikes I've ridden this year. It's an absolute hoot. Everything feels perfect on this bike. The 29mm smoothbore carbs are carbureted perfectly. The clutch, the transmission, the motor's been rebuilt. This thing is in absolutely pristine condition. You will not find a nicer one. I had one of these when I was a kid, 40 years ago, and it's an absolute hoot. Actually, my big brother had the West Cooley, the action. I had one like this, a replica. My big brother Ray had the blue and white West Cooley, and I couldn't believe that he survived, to be honest with you, because he was totally insane on that thing. I actually bought one. I bought a regular E model, a blue one, and did something like this. I bought a West Cooley tank for it and painted up the rest of it. They're basically the same bike, just a paint job, but the Coolies are absolutely impossible to get now. If you find a West Cooley, they start at $15,000 and they can bring well over 20. So to get one like this, that is the same exact bike, in some ways better than a Cooley, is just a rare opportunity. This I'd like to take to Daytona this year with Junior on a Z900. This would be an absolute hoot. I can promise you this: you show up on a $70,000, $50,000 brand new custom Harley CVO, you're not going to turn heads like you would on this thing. Based on my experience last year with Junior, when he bought the Z900 there, everywhere we stopped, people were asking him, is it for sale? Questions about it. This would do the same thing. This will turn heads on Main Street for sure. It's just badass. Straight up badass. That's what this is. Everything works beautifully on it. The lights, the gauges are crisp and clear. You can even turn the lights off on this if you want to. All the backlight on the gauges is perfect. All the idiot lights work beautifully. Electric start. Everything's brand new on the bike, man. It's perfect. my dad used to say, if you're not happy right now, you'll never be happy. This thing's an absolute rush. How's it look rolling down the road, Doc?
Fucking nasty, man.
It is, isn't
I
it?
like when you let off the gas.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And the backlash.
Shit.
The backlash. What do you think, Moses?
Oh man, this is it's a very powerful bike. And that's what it is.
Hey, Yamaha's got nothing on this, huh? Hey, Suzuki, take the condo. They were the last one in the game.
Yeah.
When Suzuki came out with this bike, they had to beat the Honda GL1000, they had to beat the KZ1000, and they had to beat Yamaha's XS1100. They did that with this bike. They did it in spades. This was Cycle World. When they tested this bike, they said it was the best super bike made in 1977 when it came out. It raised the bar, 750cc size and weight, full liter performance, 11-second quarter mile, air forks on the front. This is upgraded with some really high-end progressive shocks on the back. Just a fantastic bike, man. I mean, it's amazing how good the motors were back then. And again, the frame's heavily gusseted. Just a fantastic piece. Superbike bars, nice mirrors. You got it all cleaned up over there, Doc? He built this for his good friend who actually was here with him earlier today. They built two of these, and he told me that when he dynoed it, I have the baffle for it. If you want to quiet it down, there's a baffle that fits in there. He said it has 4 horsepower more at the rear wheel with the baffle removed. It just runs, especially with the smooth bores on it, it just runs so crisp once you uncork it. And it's been uncorked both on the intake with the K&N lifetime filters. Now these are Mikuni 29mm smooth bore carbs. I don't know what they go for today, but they were like $700 for a bank of them back then. They're probably $1,000 now. I haven't checked. It's got a Mach 4-in-1 exhaust. Jeff built this for him. They took the motor completely apart, redid everything on it, re-ringed it, put new chains and sprockets and tires. Now this bike here, folks, this isn't lipstick on a pig. This isn't a paint job, a pretty paint job. This thing was taken right down to the frame, an original low mileage GS1000, nut and bolt down to the frame. The frame was, hey Doc, when we're done, can we wipe this one down too? I want to make sure we get everything off the tires and stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna polish it up a little bit before we put it back in the museum, but they took it right down to the frame, sanded and professionally painted, had the frame professionally painted, and they sent the tank out. He told me he paid $1,800 on the paint job. Look it up close. Can you get them in here and see the metal flake on this? The silver and the metal flake. The paint job is absolutely stunning. Then he had the seat out and had it professionally reupholstered with a matching blue to the tank. So it is in the same style as the Cooley replica. He used the same style that they had, but he went with a much higher quality PPG paint, base coat, clear coat with heavy metal flake in it. So it just pops in the sun and it sets it aside. You won't find another one like this anywhere. And that's a GS1000 West Cooley replica fairing. They even painted the windshield on there to match. So just a stunning piece. Has aluminum rims, Dunlop tires front and rear. The brake system's been completely rebuilt. Brand new set of progressive suspension on here. It's a $400 set of shocks, a Mach 4-in-1. Now, listen, hey, we run a restoration shop here. I don't like taking on projects like this. Even building the CR500 for Junior, we put 150 hours into that bike, polishing all aluminum and everything. When you do a frame off like this, a nut and bolt frame off, it takes a lot of time. And it basically, the bike explodes into 1,000 different parts in your shop. And it takes a lot of mental energy to take a bike like this down to the frame, and a lot of time and a lot of money to rebuild everything. New clutch, new carbs, exhaust, ignition. This has a Dyna S ignition in it, special ignition module on it also. It has a brand new battery in it. The tank is immaculate on the inside. The carbs are jetted to perfection. To do a bike like this, well, heck, you've got over $2,000 just in the paint job and the seat, and then you've got at least 100 hours labor to do a frame off on a bike like this. And normal shop rates are $90 an hour. Actually, where can you even find a shop besides us around here? No one around here does this kind of work. So, not anymore. So, just a fantastic piece. Junior, is there anything you'd like to add about this?
Japanese 4s with a chain drive are few and far between. We're seeing even models from the early 80s, the stuff with the king queen saddle and pullback bars starting to go for real money. So when it comes to an early GS1000 that's been completely sorry, I mean, find another one that needs nothing, that's tastefully upgraded, that performs well, that's being given 2 thumbs up, and that's Kaplan America approved.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm having second thoughts about even selling this thing. We're not going to give it away. I would seriously enjoy taking this to Daytona. We're filming a video on Daytona Bike Week. If you stayed with us this long, you probably heard we're working with a production company called Hangar 56 and filming some reality TV stuff. And we're also talking to them. If not them, Junior and I will put our own team together. We're going to film a video about Daytona, my 30th year to Daytona for Bike Week. And this would be a kick-ass bike to take down there and ride all over the place. Just like Kenny did. Kenny had his choice of any bike in the museum here, and he took a 76 Z900. I was like, why don't you take the new Dyna? We had a Dyna S and a CVO Dyna and a FX DXT. I was like, take one of the Dynas. And he chose to take the Z down, and the response we got was amazing. You just don't see vintage Z's. Heck, you don't even see that many vintage Harleys down there. It's mostly newer bikes, but to see something like that on the road is just awesome. So anyways, if you have any questions about the bike, call us, 860-454-7024. The blinkers work perfectly. All electronics work perfectly. Electric starts perfect. The has the center stand and the side stand, which is awesome. Sometimes when people put a header on, they take the header off. The chain and sprockets are new. The tires have 90% tread left. The seat's beautiful. The engine's spotless, doesn't leak oil. This bike is as close to perfect as you're going to find a 78 Super bike, and it's one of a kind. Absolutely. I could keep going all day, but you get the picture. Junior, is there anything you want to add about this badass ride?
No, man. If you're watching this far and you're interested in the bike, we can offer a shipping quote. Just message us your zip code for a quote. No issues registering the bike. Message us with any questions. But other than that, guys, this is the No Excuses GS. So good luck bidding.
I wanted to point out one thing, Junior, before you get off the camera here. The fairing has a little scratch right up here on the upper left right here, a little blemish on here. On the fairing, it's got scratch right there. Something fell on it in the garage. And there's a little tiny scratch on the gas tank right here. We're not a body shop. We'd have to outsource it to a body shop.
Where's the scratch?
There's a tiny little hairline scratch. It might buff out. I don't know. We're not a body shop. We don't do these types of paint jobs here. I'd have to outsource it. If you wanted that fixed, I can send this up to A&B Auto. They could match that and fix it, I'm sure, or take it as is. So, but I just wanted to point that out. Other than that, the paint job's a 10. It's just beautiful. So, stunning piece. And God, brought back memories to my brother's West Cooley replica, riding that thing when I was a kid. What a badass ride. So, good luck bidding on her. God bless America.